Taurus, in the next 24 hours, a familiar disturbance will happen right in your own home. Leave, then return, and a treasure will appear. Taurus, if you've been feeling an unexplainable restlessness, if you sense a kind of stagnation in your own living space, then do not skip this message, because in the next 24 hours, it won't just be a hunch, it will be a real event. In this message, you'll understand why you're sensing signals from your own stability, an unexpected trip, a profound return, and a treasure, both literal and metaphorical, that will reveal something deep about your life's purpose. Stay until the end, because what you're about to learn could change how you view your own security. Taurus, if you feel like your home has suddenly become stifling, like an invisible weight is pressing down on you, that is not an illusion. It's the first sign, and it starts right where you live. Taurus, if in recent days you've felt a strange confinement in your surroundings, a sensation you can't explain, a desire to break free, or a moment when you suddenly stop out of sheer exhaustion, please do not dismiss it, because those vibrations are not random. They are signs. They are the first whispers from your soul trying to call you back to your truth. The space you live in is not just a shelter. For a Taurus, a home is a mirror of your security and inner worth. Every room, every object you cherish, every familiar beam of morning light is a silent scripture the universe is writing just for you. Your soul chose this place not for its convenience, but because there is something here that needs to be released. Perhaps you've never considered that the sturdy wall in your living room is holding the energy of a stubbornness you haven't truly let go of. Maybe you haven't noticed, but the chair where you usually sit is also absorbing the thoughts you repeat every day about stability, the fear of change, or unspoken material hopes. Every step you take through that home is actually guiding you closer to your heart. And if one morning you suddenly feel like you no longer belong there, as if something is urging you to step outside, don't worry. That is not a loss. That is your soul beginning to open new doors. Not everyone notices that moment, but a Taurus does, because you were born to build, to feel stability, to listen to the tangible values others cannot perceive. The universe speaks to you not through noise, but through familiar silence, where you and your home are no longer separate beings, but merged into one. And in the midst of all that silence, if you've ever felt like something is waiting, then you were right. A shift is coming. There is a treasure not hidden in a drawer or a safe, but in the moment, you open your heart to see yourself again in a new and clearer way. Because sometimes our soul chooses this home not because it's perfect, but because it's the only place that can awaken what we need to release in order to step into a higher version of ourselves. And if you've ever felt an old energy present in your home, maybe a memory, a lingering attachment, or a departed loved one, then maybe they never truly left. They're still there, protecting you, guiding you, whispering messages that you can only hear when your heart is quiet enough and trusting enough. Maybe you've experienced a very brief moment, yet remember it forever, when the afternoon light hit a corner of your home and brought tears to your eyes for no clear reason. Those moments are not vague. They are proof that the place you live in is truly living with you, walking with you, and waiting for you to awaken. If you've ever felt that way, had a day when you just sat quietly at home, yet felt like you were stepping through an invisible doorway, then you are not alone. Tell that story, because maybe a Taurus somewhere across the world needs the story you're about to share. Don't underestimate the power of resonance. Don't think small vibrations are meaningless, because from those small moments, a new chapter is silently beginning. A chapter where you no longer feel trapped in the place you live, but begin to realize you are living in something sacred. And then, when you are brave enough to believe in what you feel, a transformation will happen. Maybe you'll leave your home in a random moment. Maybe it's a short trip, an unexpected meeting, a situation that forces you to step outside your comfort zone. But that very moment will be the starting point, because sometimes we need to leave for a while so that when we return, we can see everything with new eyes. And when Taurus returns, you will not return empty-handed. You will carry a gift, not from anyone else, but from the universe itself. And if you are ready, then listen, because the next door is quietly opening. The moment you let go of fear and believe that everything happening has a reason, every signal you feel is real, and everything is leading you back to yourself. Dear Taurus, there are journeys that are never planned, but they change the entire course of our lives. And if you've recently felt an urge to leave, even just for a short trip or simply a disruption in your daily routine, know that it is not a coincidence. It is an invitation from the universe. Because for souls like Taurus, those born to feel and to build, not every move originates from reason. Often, the steps are arranged from deeper levels of consciousness, journeys that don't start from a location, but from an inner signal. Your soul is yearning for something, seeking to find itself again through a gentle but profound transformation. It could be a trip somewhere familiar, visiting loved ones, returning to your hometown, or simply leaving the city for a few days. But the important thing is not where you go, but who you become when you return. There are times when you leave in silence, out of exhaustion, out of the need to breathe, out of the need for distance, and along the way, you not only discover new scenery, but also uncover things you once forgot within yourself. An old dream, a wound that hasn't healed, a soft part of you that was buried under the armor of stability and habit. Leaving a place is sometimes the soul's way of telling you, look again, feel again. Remember why you once loved something or someone. In astrology, the 9th house often represents long journeys. But for Taurus, the special thing is this: the journey always carries a physical element. It's not just a physical trip, but an emotional trial, a dialogue with yourself. You might begin a journey for very practical reasons: work, family responsibilities, health. But pay attention, when you're a Taurus, every place you go leaves an echo in your heart. Every land you set foot on becomes a mirror reflecting something in you that you've never seen before. And sometimes, the greatest journey isn't about how far you travel, but what you are able to let go of along the way. An old pain, a relationship that no longer fits, a false definition of yourself that you've carried for too long. I once met a Taurus woman in her 62nd who told me she had left the house she had lived in for nearly 30 years, simply because she couldn't breathe anymore. She didn't know where she was going, but she knew if she didn't go, she would lose a part of her soul. She arrived in a small, coastal town. In the initial solitude, she found herself again through each step on the sand, each salty sea breeze, each dreamless sleep. She said it was only when she left behind everything she thought was important that she realized what truly mattered in her life. When she returned, she was no longer the woman of 30 years ago, but the woman of now. Gentle, grateful, and awakened. Taurus, if you are standing at a similar threshold right now, don't be afraid, because what awaits you ahead is not a new land, but a new version of yourself. Still you, but brighter, softer, more authentic. You might have to walk away from someone who once meant the world to you. You might have to let go of a habit that once served as a safe haven. You might choose a path others don't understand. But when you return, you will carry new eyes, a new posture, and a heart that has been cleansed by experience and tears. If this journey comes to you, don't delay. Go with a simple faith that the universe always knows what you need, even before you do. And if you've ever had a journey that awakened you, please share it with me in the comments. Who knows? Your story might be the light for another Taurus who feels lost on their path. Because one day, you will return, and the treasure waiting for you won't be at your destination, but in what you were willing to let go of. And that gift only belongs to those who are brave enough to leave so they can return in a new form with a more complete heart. After all the tremors, after all the times you had to leave to find yourself again, there will come a moment when you suddenly realize you did not return empty-handed. Something has been waiting for you, quietly, deeply, and divinely. But no, it's not money, not a new house key, or a material gift, but something far more precious, a blessing. For Taurus, the true treasure is never just in the hand, but always in the heart. It could be an apology you've waited years to hear, a hug from someone who once hurt you, a message from someone you once helped unconditionally, who then disappeared without a word until today. Do you remember the last time you did something just out of kindness, expecting nothing in return? Maybe you don't remember clearly, but the universe remembers. Your soul has never forgotten. And the gift you are about to receive is the result of the pure love you once gave when it seemed like no one was watching. I once witnessed a Taurus woman who lived her whole life quietly. She took care of others, sacrificed so much, without ever asking for anything. One day, she received a large sum of money, not from her children or grandchildren, but from someone who had once witnessed her kindness as a child. That person became successful and never forgot the gentle eyes of that woman on a rainy afternoon long ago. She cried, not because of the money, but because for the first time in her life, she realized that what she had lived for truly wasn't meaningless. Taurus, your blessing might arrive in a different form. A dream that wakes you with a heart full of emotion. A sign from a loved one who has passed, an unexpected reunion, an opportunity that comes just as you're about to lose hope. But believe this, your treasure is returning, and nothing is random. Every good thing you've ever done will bloom one day in the universe's own way. In that moment, you'll understand that what you sow truly never disappears. It only grows silently in invisible light. And then, when you no longer demand, when you no longer search, it returns like a gentle breeze, like a soft light touching your shoulder at dawn. You might cry, not out of sadness, but because you feel seen, acknowledged, given back not with material things, but with humanity, with healing. Have you ever received a gift from a good deed you had forgotten? If so, share it with me and another Taurus. Who knows? In your story, another soul might rediscover faith in kindness. And always remember this, not all gifts come from the light. Sometimes, sweet rewards appear just to distract you from the right path. So when a treasure shows up, listen to your heart. Ask, will this help me grow, love more, live more truthfully? If the answer is yes, open your heart to receive it. But if something inside you feels uneasy, take a step back, because true light never brings doubt. It comes like dawn, gentle but certain, like the universe's love, quiet but always on time. And dear Taurus, if you feel something approaching an apology, a thank you, a sudden opportunity, then smile, because you don't need to do anything. Just keep being kind, keep loving, keep being you. The treasure is coming, Blessings are knocking, and all of this is because you deserve it. There is a kind of wisdom that doesn't come from books, a kind of knowing that doesn't need proof. For Taurus, that is intuition, the sacred gift the universe gave you when your soul chose to enter this world. You don't need a reason to feel that something isn't right. You just need to feel, and your soul will know. Your heart will know. Your body will whisper what the mind can't yet name. I believe Taurus is the zodiac sign with the highest sensitivity to physical vibrations among all 12 signs. But the paradox is, intuition only speaks clearly when your mind is quiet enough. When you stop chasing noise, stop forcing yourself to understand why, stop trying to be logical, that is when you begin to hear the sacred whispers of your soul, of creation, of truth. Not everyone who enters your life with a smile brings goodness. Not all compliments come from the heart, and not everyone who gives you a gift wants you to grow from it. But you have something many don't: a living compass within your intuition. When you listen to it, it guides you to safety. When you ignore it, life will use lessons to remind you. Maybe you once entered a relationship that everyone said was good, except you. Maybe you once accepted an opportunity everyone called golden, but something inside you didn't feel right. And then time proved your first instinct was right. But no one remembers. Only you, the one who endured, stayed silent, and grew. Taurus, you don't have to explain why you feel the way you do. You just need to trust yourself. And if you're listening to this, perhaps the universe is reminding you, return to your intuition. Believe in what's unseen, because truth often hides in silence. Sometimes warnings don't come with loud bells. They come as feelings. A faster heartbeat when entering a room, a tight stomach when facing someone, or a recurring dream you can't understand. Don't dismiss these signs. They are the universe's way of whispering, be careful. Intuition is not fear. Intuition is the soul's wisdom. When you're quiet enough to hear it, you'll avoid detours that could have taken you years to come back from. Have you ever believed in a gut feeling, even when others said you were imagining things and it turned out to be true? Share that story. Maybe your experience will help another Taurus who's lost at a crossroads. And if right now you're standing before something your mind says is fine, but your heart doesn't feel at peace, then step back. Ask your soul, what here is making me uneasy? Because intuition doesn't make you regret. It only grieves when you've ignored it too long. I know living by intuition isn't easy. It makes you different, hard to explain, easily misunderstood. But in return, you live authentically, you stay on the right path, you don't sell your emotions just to be accepted, and that is a sacred kind of freedom. Dear Taurus, if you're going through a time where everything seems chaotic, uncertain, then know this: within that very cloud, there is a ray of light waiting for you to see it, not with your eyes, but with your faith. And when you move past the doubt, when you dare to follow that whisper, you'll enter a realm that few ever reach, even in their dreams, the realm of truth. And when you step into the truth, you no longer need to prove anything, because the true light will prove everything by itself. There are moments in life that seem very ordinary. A morning waking up, an afternoon sitting silently looking out the window, or a sleepless night for no apparent reason. But for Taurus, those may be the very moments when the soul is whispering, it's time. Awakening doesn't always come with thunder or a violent tremor. Sometimes it arrives as softly as a sigh, like a feeling that cannot be named, but makes you see that everything around is no longer the same. What you once tried to hold on to now feels distant. Relationships that once meant everything suddenly become quiet, and dreams once thought foolish begin to speak. In astrology, the days when the fourth house, the symbol of roots, family, and inner emotions, and the 12th house, the shelter of the subconscious, karma, and enlightenment, are both activated, are the moments when the universe opens the gate of transformation for Taurus. Not everyone walks through that gate, but you might, because your soul has been waiting for this moment for a very long time. Awakening is not an action. It is a release. It is a nod to yourself. It is the whisper you say to yourself in the mirror. I no longer need to live by old patterns. I am brave enough to live truthfully. You will realize that you no longer fear losing others if the price is losing yourself. You will no longer try to please everyone if it means betraying your inner voice. And you will no longer feel lost when you begin to walk the path truly meant for you. Dear Taurus, you don't need anyone to understand you, because awakening is not about being seen by others. It is about seeing yourself clearly, gently, without resistance. Maybe those around you won't notice that you're changing. They will continue to expect you as before, but you will smile. Not because you agree, but because you no longer need to be accepted to be yourself. You are becoming a different version. Deeper, quieter, freer. You don't need to prove, don't need to argue, don't need to persuade, because true light doesn't need an introduction. It only needs to be lived authentically. If at this moment you feel like everything is changing, if you feel your heart is no longer at peace with what once felt familiar, if you feel like you're about to touch something very big but cannot yet name it, then do not doubt. Believe, because the change you feel is actually a return to essence, to the soul, to what you already are before the world told you who you should be. And if you are in that state, please share. Tell that you too are going through a silent transformation. Because who knows, another Taurus may need to hear that story to not feel alone. You no longer live to please anyone. You no longer tremble before the eyes of others. You are no longer confused between right and wrong, defined by someone else. You are living for the first time as yourself. And now you have a choice. You can continue waiting for the miracle to happen, or you can become that miracle. Because for Taurus, the most sacred thing is not in the stars. It is in the very journey you dare to walk with an honest heart and eyes that no longer fear. And when you choose yourself, the whole universe will choose you. Dear Taurus, if you've stayed with me until this moment, then maybe this is not just a video. This is a soul appointment, a moment your heart has waited a long time for. To be reminded, to be illuminated, and to return to yourself. You have listened to every signal. You have gone through the journey of leaving only to return to the deepest part of your heart. You have opened up to receive blessings not from things outside, but from the things you quietly sowed in silence. And you have been brave enough to face the traps, to trust your intuition, even when no one else believed. And now you stand before the threshold of a new version. You sincere enough to forgive the past, brave enough to live truthfully with the present, and humble enough to receive the future as a miracle. No longer the one who lives to please the world, but the one who lives to befriend their own soul. Dear Taurus, this journey does not end here. It is only beginning, because when you step out of this video, everything you just felt should not be just beautiful words, but a real transformation, gentle but steady steps you will take from today. Let me know, where are you on that journey? Do you feel like you're about to change? Was there something in this video that made you go silent or cry? Leave your feelings. Write them down as a gift for yourself and also for other Tauruses silently walking the same path. Because light is never meant for just one person. It is a quiet flame spreading when someone dares to light it first. If you see yourself in this story, share the video with someone who also needs healing. Sometimes, one sentence, one moment, one time seeing yourself in someone else's journey can change someone's whole day, can save a weary soul just with a message at the right time. And if you need to read more, listen more, feel more, I'm still here, in this little corner where hearts like a Taurus's are understood, loved, and reminded that you are not invisible. You are the light someone else is quietly surviving by. Thank you for staying until the very end. Thank you for your trust. Thank you for being you. And don't forget, the miracle is not in the place you go, but in the very person you are becoming.